Morning guys. In between sewing the ends in on my crochet squares, I thought I'd show you what else I'm just up to this morning. So this is my daily planner sheet. I got this from Tiger. You get one sheet for each day and you can just fill all the information in. I just find it so useful. So I'm just going to put the date in today. So today's the 4th of October. And the weather is kind of a bit cloudy today, and I'm feeling in a pretty good mood. And I've just made myself a cup of tea, so that counts as my water. So that's going to be 2 cups of tea, because I always have it in a pot. I've just had some Weetabix for breakfast. I shall have a smoothie for lunch. And I've got lasagna for my dinner. And I'm just going to write my list of the things that I need to do. This just helps really keep me on track. I do find it really difficult to remember everything that I need to do, and I get overwhelmed quite easily. This is definitely a long COVID thing, so this really helps. See you later. I laid out my squares for my blanket, and I'm quite happy with them. The light's not brilliant. Let me just see if I can come around the other way and see if that makes a difference. Not really. So I'm quite happy with the way I've laid them out. So I've got the dark ones at the bottom and sort of gradually going into the lighter ones at the top. I might change that green and blue one around actually. But otherwise I'm quite happy with those. So the next thing I need to do is to label each of the squares so that I know how to sew them all together, so that I end up with them in the same orientation that I've got them here. So I'm just going to show you how I do that. So what I've got these little post-it notes, and on them I've written, A1, I'll focus on that, there you go, A1 and so on, A2, A3, B3, etc. You can see like that. So what they do is, that'd be row A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And then I can just pile the squares up, and because they're sticky notes, they'll stick on them, and then I'll be able to sew them in the right order. So here we are, all the squares with their little labels on. So I now make them into piles. I've just got to decide now what colour I'm going to use to join the squares together and to do the edging. I do quite a visible join on each of the squares, and then I'll use that same colour to go all the way around the edge and do a border. I've just not quite decided what colour I'm going to go with, because obviously it needs to sort of tone with all the different colours on there. So I'm thinking it might well be a sort of a mid blue, to sort of tie the purples and the greens and the pale blues together. I'm not quite decided. I don't want something too strong, because I want the colours to speak for themselves in the actual blanket. I think it's going to be a nice size. It's going to be a sort of a lap blanket. It's going to be just big enough to sort of throw around your shoulders or put over your legs when you're watching the telly. So but I should do a reasonably generous size border around the edge as well, just to sort of finish it off. Hello. Just come upstairs to take a bit of a breather. It's just been a really bit of a mad-on day for a bit. I did a bit more work on my blanket, sewed some squares together, and then I was just about to go out, and I had an email from somebody I spent some time with yesterday saying, "I'm really sorry, but I've just tested positive for COVID." So I was like, oh no. And I was eating my lunch at the time, so then I had to wait half an hour, because you can't do a test when you're when you've just eaten food. I had to wait half an hour until I was ready to do the test. There's something in my words today. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then I had to wait 15 minutes for the test to do. So I was very nervous, but in the end, yay. So that was all a bit nerve-wracking, basically, because I thought I really don't want to have COVID. I've got so many other things I need to do, and although part of me went, well, that does mean I could just sit and crochet my blanket all afternoon and evening and the next several days. But then I thought, come on, pull yourself together. You've really got too much to do. So anyway, so I was fine. So I went out to meet my friends, and then I've just come back now, and I've got about 40 minutes before I need to be round at the doctor's, because I've got a blood test to do. That's the other thing as well. I was like, if I was COVID positive, I would have had to not go and do my blood test. Blood test appointments are like gold dust. Really difficult to get. So I really didn't want to miss that. And then I've got college tonight as well. I didn't want to miss that either, because it's only week 3. So you miss a lot, don't you, when you start a course and you're just right at the very beginning. So I didn't really want to be doing that. So yeah, that's my rather dramatic, panic-filled afternoon. Well, not that dramatic really, is it? But, you know, I'm sure people take negative COVID tests every day, but it was a bit of a panic for me anyway. So I'm quite pleased that I don't have to worry about spreading the lurgy to everybody. I also don't know how it would affect me as well, since I've got long COVID at the moment. I don't know how much that would impact me. Some people I know have said when they've had it again a second time, when they've got long COVID, that it's really bad. So I don't know. But there we go. So that was my afternoon. So yeah, off to the blood test. Then off to college. Then I'll be back. It's about a half-hour drive to college. I finished at 8:30, so I'll be back here just after 9, I should think. And then I'm going to see if I can do a little bit more on my blanket and get it finished. A friend has asked me to make a teddy bear, so I might make a start on that tomorrow as well. Bye. I'm just off round to the doctor's to do my blood test. So I'm just checking to see if there's anybody around. It must look really weird walking around looking at my phone. I'm hoping there isn't going to be a long wait, because I've got to go straight off to college after that. But I've brought my knitting with me, just in case. I don't think you've seen this one before. I'm knitting a pair of socks for a friend's daughter. And I've just nearly finished the first one. I'm just doing the toe, and I'll start on the second one. I knit it when she's with me. Well, the friend, not the daughter. She's getting quite excited by the progress, I think. So yeah, speak to you later. I mean, I was so quick coming out. I was literally out before I should have been in. She saw me so fast. I managed to do about 10 stitches on my sock, and that was all. Just shove it back in my bag really quick. So, very efficient. I'm just off home now. Got about half an hour before college. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Half an hour's not really long enough to do anything, is it? Just, hang on. Just checking there's nobody here. Yeah, it's not really long enough to do anything, is it? Half an hour. It's not really long enough to sit down and get involved in something. I am still crocheting my squares together though for my blanket, and they're coming together really nicely. Do you like my earrings, by the way? Look, little autumnal leaves. Quite like those. Right, see you later. Just one more thing to show you my shoes. How fab are those? Nice and jolly. Just what we need when it's a cloudy day. Bye. Hi guys. Oh, I was gonna video, I was gonna do a quick bit of me putting my blanket together, just to show you how I join my squares, but it's now 10 o'clock and I'm really tired. That was Bear. I'm sitting right forward on my chair because every time I sit down, every time I go to sit down, he sits behind me, cuddles and curls up. I'm such a softie, I just let him. So yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed, and maybe I'll show you tomorrow how I do my squares. It's been a really good evening. College was excellent, really enjoyed it. Got stacks of coursework to do now though. It's always the way, isn't it? But, so I've just come home and I treated myself to a twirl, to an orange flavoured twirl, because I'd had such a good evening at my course. I'm an absolute chocoholic. I could eat it all day, every day. So I have to be very careful, because otherwise I'd just look like I'll be the size of a house in no time. So I haven't had any chocolate for a while, but I thought I deserve it. It was really nice. So yeah, I had all these plans to do a bit more knitting this afternoon, crochet when I got home. This is how tired I am. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I'm just going to go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Bye bye.